Hey everybody, DGooden24 here. Welcome back to the channel. And today is a big news day. We just got an announcement of a new NASCAR console game. And it's an arcade game. NASCAR Arcade Rush. It comes to all the systems and PC. I'm very conflicted on this, and I'll explain why. To start off, I have absolutely no problem with the game in general. The way the game looks, the way it probably plays, the style of the game. Game Mill has made this game. They have made a bunch of games, and I have no problem with this developer whatsoever. They've made the Nickelodeon racing games, the Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. They made the NHRA game. There's loads of games they've made, and I'm sure they did just fine with this. I want to make it clear, my complaint is not with them. It's hard to say it's with NASCAR, but they're the one that signed the deal with Motorsport Games to get this game, or to make it to where we couldn't include real-world teams and drivers in this game. NASCAR, I'm guessing, essentially needed a game to come out this year since the Motorsport Games drama is really crazy right now. So they did this. I'm sure they could get away with it without including the teams and the drivers and simulation aspects. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to really show many screenshots or any of the press release. I'm just going to talk about it. There's people that have already talked about it. It's online. If you want to see that stuff, please go there. I'm just giving my detailed analysis on it. So essentially, it's called NASCAR Arcade Rush. It releases for $50 on all the systems. You're racing through 75 years of NASCAR cars and real tracks, but with a fantasy element. Kind of think NASCAR Unleashed. I liked NASCAR Unleashed. I wanted to say love, but I didn't. I liked NASCAR Rumble more than it, but it was a perfectly fine game. I understand this game is tailored for kids, which is totally fine. I'm an adult content creator. I'm going to buy it anyway for the content. This game is catered for kids, which is totally fine. I just have a hard time seeing how a kid is going to see this on the shelf and want to buy it. And if they do buy it, how a basic NASCAR game is going to push them over the edge to watch NASCAR. For me, as a kid, my first NASCAR game was NASCAR 2001 on the PS1. I liked NASCAR at that point. I was a Jeff Gordon fan, but I didn't really know much about it. I just kind of watched and was like, where's Jeff Gordon or whatever. The game helped me learn all of the drivers, see their cars up close in a 3D model, see their pictures, and I got to race as all of them. It gave me a connection to them, and I played the ever-living hell out of that game. A kid, I know the NASCAR console gaming space is terrible right now, but if a kid were to pick this up, there's no real-world drivers to race as. You're racing as your basic, I don't know if it's a created character or what, but you're not racing as any drivers. So I find it hard to believe a kid is going to want to watch NASCAR, because this game is not replicating NASCAR. It's arcade. So if you can't connect to the drivers, and if what you're playing doesn't replicate the real-world product, then what's the point? I understand arcade games like NFL Blitz or NFL Street is kind of the same way, but this just feels different. The graphics look fine, the gameplay looks fine, it looks fun, it looks like just your standard run-of-the-mill racing game. And that's fine. I have no issues with that. I'm sure they did a decent job. My issue is not with the developers. It's just, what's the point of making a NASCAR game without the drivers? This looks like a game that was already made, and NASCAR's like, yeah, let's slap the license and our logo all over everything. It looks basic, and while it's not a bad thing. It's just not a system or game selling thing to me. I'm not the type of person that's going to come in here and shill on this game because I want a free copy and because everything is great. I want to make everybody happy. I'm being transparent with you. I want to be realistic. I'm not trying to be completely negative either, but I'm going to call it like I see it. This game just looks mediocre, and there's a $50 price point on it. That's a lot. If this game was $20, I would say hell yes, go pick it up. If it was $30, I would also kind of feel the same way. I'd say that is a very reasonable price point. But for $50, it's just not gonna work. This game is gonna be heavily discounted very quickly, I think. There's just, yes, there's different modes. There's multiplayer. There's a career Cup Series mode and time attack, and but still, it's an arcade game. This is not like your Forza, your Gran Turismo, your F1. And I know it's not trying to be a simulation like those games, but there are better games out there tailored for kids, even arcade games. Arcade racing games that would grab them in more than this, I feel. And I just feel like with the price point and what they're offering, it's just hard pressed to work. I like NASCAR kart racing a lot. I like NASCAR Unleashed a lot. I love NASCAR Rumble. The arcade NASCAR game Spear can be great. This just feels like they're trying to get a game out there. And NASCAR Arcade Rush, like that, it's just a weird title too. Like I don't know. Like, why did you have to include arcade in the title? Why couldn't they have just called it NASCAR Rush? Is it because the like NASCAR Ignition or NASCAR Inside Line and those were simulation games? I don't know. Did you have to include arcade in the title? I don't know. There's some cool things in here, don't get me wrong. I love the look of the different tracks and all the different real world tracks that are made stylized to be fantasy. And I feel like they did a better job in just the screenshots compared to NASCAR Unleashed. But I just keep coming back to, what is the point if I can't race as my favorite driver? And I understand that they had no choice at all because of the motorsports game stuff, but it's a bummer. It's such a bummer. I want to be disappointed, but I know that they couldn't help it. It looks fine. I'll play it. I'm obviously gonna get it. I'll do videos on it. It's just, I wish there was more. I wish there was more, especially for that price point. I don't know. I could probably go on for another 10 minutes on this, but I don't think I have too much left to say. It's just disappointing. I saw a lot of people really excited today, and I wanted to be one of those people, but it's just hard to get me excited for a licensed, unlicensed racing arcade game. I mean, it looks fun, but I don't know. I'd rather race against real drivers. And maybe on the PC version, they can mod in actual drivers and schemes and stuff. That would be cool, but I don't know. But it's coming later this year, $50. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you're excited or if you're a little hesitant like me. I just want to make it clear, I am not trying to absolutely crap on this game. It looks like it will be fine. I just wish there was more, you know? I wish we didn't have the motorsport games problem to make this just your basic NASCAR branded racing arcade game. I don't know. But guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.